Again, for those of you that are here, my name is Darrin Fishert. I'm the head football coach at Whiteland High School here in Whiteland, Indiana. We're on the south side of Indianapolis. Again, I don't know if my toolbar is covering the screen. I'm trying to make my toolbar go away here.
Coach, you're good. We see a perfect screen. Everything's good.
Good. Okay. All right. So we've been, this is my 21st year as the head football coach here at Whiteland High School. My 35th year overall. I coached in Des Moines, Iowa, Des Moines East. I've coached here in Indiana, a couple different schools when I was much younger. Those championships that you see down there are a function of the staff and the players we've had here. We've had a lot of coaches move on to run their own programs. The Goffstown Grizzlies from New Hampshire are on this call. We've got some former players that are coaching that are on this call as well. Shout out to all of them for those numbers that you see there on your screen, because those championships sure did not come from me. But I do believe a lot of those championships came from a belief in a way to play football and the belief in a system. So what I'm going to try to share with you today is our system of offense, our philosophy of what we do. We are an under center purist fly offense team. So Coach Stewart explained a little bit about the background of the fly offense. My beliefs in developing an offense, number one, is I think you've got to communicate an identity. Our identity is power with deception. And I think that's the law. Excuse my voice, by the way, if it cracks. I'm going to drink some water and take some throat lozenges here. We had middle school speed development before I got to this meeting. So I've been yelling at 6th, 7th, and 8th graders for an hour trying to get them motivated. So, but I think deception is the lost art in football. So hopefully what you see today is, man, those guys carry out some fakes and they do a lot of teaching it. I think Vince Lombardi said it best. I think offenses that establish a signature play are the best offenses in football. That signature offense can be, in the triple option. It can be 92 mesh. It can be buck sweep. It can be whatever you want it to be. But I think to be a great offense, you've got to have a play that your whole offense is based on. A signature play, everybody knows you're going to run it, and you evaluate how they stop it, and you get the rest of your plays, the rest of that night, the rest of the calls are from how that team defends. I'm going to try to show you how teams defend our fly sweep. I'm going to show you how we run our fly sweep. I think defining drills and techniques are very, very critical to doing this. And then the rest of our attack is designed to take advantage of what our opponents do to us to stop our sweep. I'll tell you right now, if they don't adjust to stop the sweep, we're going to run it 29 or 30 times in a ball game. So I've got plenty of film for you. I'm going to go through the slides. So my first two talks are going to kind of overlap here together. So we're going to talk about three different kinds of sweeps. There is a quote from Dr. Speckman on there. We will beat you with the sweep, or we will beat you with the sweep. Simply means if you don't rotate to defend it, you don't do something special, we're going to keep running it. If you do something special, you're going to give us something else. Our best teams have been well-rounded. They could do the other things that it took to take advantage of defensive plays and the way they play. There are three types of fly sweeps to me. Number one is those fly sweeps that are based on wide zone blocking. I am an offensive line coach by trade. I didn't play offensive line. But when I first became a head coach, I thought, you know what? I probably ought to learn what these linemen do. So we've spent some time developing the line. So number one, we've got plays that are based on wide zone blocking. We've got sweeps that are based on false keys. Those sweeps are based on inside run plays, whether it's trap. Those of you that run trap, we've got fly sweeps where we block trap. It's two plays in one. We're an A-gap power team. I love North Dakota State, A-gap power. I learned it from some North Dakota State guys. I'm all in on A-gap power. We block A-gap power and run sweep. If you're in the gun, that's power read. To us, we do it with A-gap power. And then we've got my third conversation with you today is going to be our pin and pull sweep into the C-gap. We call it red sweep. So if any of you are fly sweep guys on here, there's green sweeps, yellow sweeps, and red sweeps. Green sweeps are hash mark numbers sideline. We're going to show you those first. We'll show you our yellow sweeps second, which are those a little bit of a different spin from Coach Speckman. My yellow sweeps are blocked as inside run plays, two plays in one. Instead of RPOs, there are ROs, run options. And then I'll show you our C-gap pin and pull plays third. So those are three things I'm going to do. Again, I told you the Goffstown Grizzlies are on here. John Preston's on the other end of the line. He's probably shocked that I'm going to share the recipe to the secret sauce today. But I think as we get older, we want to kind of pay it back, to the people that taught me. So the art of deception, the faking back. We always want to grab our collar when we fake, whoever the fake is. It could be a sweep fake. It could be a tailback faking. It doesn't matter. When we fake, we want to make a pocket, sprint through the mesh with your eyes up. I can't tell you how many times I watch people fake and they look at the ground and take 3 choppy steps. If you're carrying the football, you don't look at the ground. We tell our kids, stare at the defender you'd be cutting off of. If you're the tailback fake and trap, your eyes should be on the Mike linebacker with your collar grabbed, and you should cut away from the point of attack. If the sweep's going right, cut left. All right, so I'm going to show you some faking pictures here so you can see it. But I can't tell you enough to coach the faking. The offense magically gets better. On the left is a sweeper faking the sweep. Notice his eyes. We're running like an inside trap here. Notice his eyes are on number 3. Why is he staring at number 3? Because number 3 is the guy that would tackle him. Number 3 does not go make the tackle on an inside run if you're staring at him, because he's just not sure if you've got the ball. Notice number 4. Number 4 is faking a play after the sweep handoff. 14 thinks he's going to get the football because he's making a pocket. His eyes are up. He's staring at number 14, and he's got a regular mesh pocket ready to go. I think that's important for everybody to understand that if you're going to run, I don't care. You're a wing T guy, you're on this call. You're a slot T guy, you're on this call. You're on this call, you're playing with deception. You're one of my people. You got to make sure that you fake. All right, and you got to teach them how to fake, and you got to expect, you get what you expect. So you really got to coach faking. Okay, so let's get to some tape. So first things first here, we are going to run a sweep to the bottom of the screen. So the first thing you're going to see here is number 27 is number 1. This is number 2, number 3, and number 4. So the blocking scheme here is going to be a 21 scheme. So we're going to block the first player on the 2. We're going to block our second on the 1. So this is a 21 sweep. So we're going to run flip motion here to get ourselves back to the play side. And that is a 21 sweep for us. This was the first drive in the state championship game a couple of years ago. But again, the key is to understand the blocking scheme on the 2. So the 2 is a force player. So you'll notice we're going to get our face into his play side armpit. You can see the blocking of the offensive lineman. You can see them reaching and cut off. This would be a U call for the tackle. So you'll notice how 65 stays really thick on the block, right? And we're going to make sure that we run as we get to those play side armpits. So this is a great example of all those things that I just showed you. All right, now you'll notice our sweeper. Why was this not a touchdown? This was not a touchdown because our sweeper took the fool's goal. He's got to wait till the pads of the fullback collide. When the pads collide, he's got a play to make. If the pads don't collide, he gets tackled. Should have been an 80-yard touchdown. All right, so again, that's important. Everybody kind of sees what we have going on. Again, here's a great example. You can see the offensive lineman. Again, just so you can see them fighting to throw their face into the play side armpit on the first sound, and they're going to run through that play side armpit as they go. So that's a really good example of the sweep to the 21 edge. Here's another one. Faking matters. The 2 guys in the circle, watch how they bite the fake. This is this year's film. You can kind of see those guys hesitating with the fake. And all it takes is a 1-step hesitation. This is another example of a 21 sweep. So again, if it's a 21 sweep, again, here's the 1, here's the 2, here's the 3, and here's the 4 back here. All right, so again, this call is a 21 sweep. So we're blocking a 21 sweep right here. So you can see the play side armpit of the 2. We're going to wait till the pads collide, and we're going to get into the open space. All right, that's really important. This technique on the outside, we call it, again, I'll go back to the lineman for you, for the line coaches in the room. So again, you can see the cutoff step by the right tackle, 63. You can see him really trying to throw his face into the play side number as he works. The call from the guard here, the guard said you. Because notice the guard's target is not the same as the tackle's target. So I hope that explains the you call and the us call for you from the guard and the tackle. Again, that first snap that you saw was an us call. This one is a you call. Tells the tackle he's by himself. Don't come off of this block. So again, that's a really good example of what we're doing. Here's another one. This is an example of cloud. So right now you can see when we called the play, this is an example of cloud. Here's the 1, here's the 2, here's the 3, and here's the 4. So what we're doing is we're going to block this is a 21 sweep. So we're going to block the 2 first and then the 1. There's the block on the 2. You'll notice the 1 is now attacking the sweep. So that ball gets kicked out and the sweeper knows to read it and attack the gap. So I think it's really important that you can identify the defense for your kids and your fullback understands what's going to happen. It's a great skate step, getting on the back hip of the fullback. It's a great job by the quarterback, faking to the tailback behind. You can see what it does to the backside of the defense. All right, what rotation is this? This is runner. They're running the backside corner across the formation. So this is runner. There's no way he's going to catch it. All right, so those are really good plays. You can kind of see it from behind. The tight end is an independent contractor. So 88's out of the blocking scheme. He's on the perimeter. 72 is going to work vertical. That's a great example of read the knee and go vertical. 72, the left tackle, is looking at the knee of the 9 technique. When the 9 goes out, he's going to go vertical. So you can see him attack vertically, 72, go vertically and get on the linebacker. Here's another great example, by the way. A great formation shift is to tip the formation. So our tight end last year was a really good athlete. So we ran our tight end. We tipped the sweeper, changed the defense. You could see them all pointing, make the 16-year-olds think. All right. This is a 221 block. So you can see we are all attacking the 2. So this is an example. If I could pause it at the car here. Sorry, my huddle remote's not working right now. So you can see this blocking scheme is a 221. So the widest defender, or the widest offender and the second offensive player, our tight end, are both going to double team the 2. If they've got a stud, everybody we play puts their best athlete at the 2. So we're going to block the 2 with a double team here. So you can see the double team on the 2, and then we're going to run the sweep. And that's a read. So notice, we always read the block on the 2s. Notice the fullback is reading the block on the 2 because the double team kicked him out. The fullback cut inside. I think that's a critical element. We'll show you in session 3 how we practice this. But again, the blocking scheme is critical. The fullback reads the block on the 2. If the 2 gets kicked out, the fullback turns in. If the 2 gets pinned, then the ball carrier goes outside. So all these examples I've showed you, you've seen different reactions by the force player. And then we're going to read the block on the 2. So here's a great example. You'll notice number 13 over here. 13 is the 2. When 13 goes out, the fullback has 3 steps to read it. You can see the eyes of the fullback. The fullback is reading the block on 13. When 13 gets kicked out, he knows to go inside. And he gets inside eyes, and we cut off of where we want. Terrible job of 56 on the combo. Not thick enough on this. The tackle is not thick enough on the combo. He's got to punch that and stay a little more vertical to make sure that the guard can overtake it. So again, those 4 techniques are critical, that you get those guys blocked. So you got to be able to get them on an anchor here.